One of the gratifying things with doing this is the feedback I get, and thank you for that. Most of it's positive, some is negative, but all of it's constructive. All of it gives me moments for thought. Just yesterday, I had two specific requests, one both internationally, one more domestically, an international person looking to build in the US, saying essentially, hey Aaron, can you send me your business presentation, how you introduce the business? And just the way the question was asked in one particular case gave me a pause for a moment, some food for thought. I think, and I'm just suggesting this as something for you to ponder on, that framing it and how do you introduce the business is maybe not quite the way to go about it. Yeah, we're a business. I mean, that's a blinding glimpse of the obvious. We don't need to do that. But most of the people that you're prospecting or inviting don't have on their today's to-do list, go find a new business. It's not what they're looking for. So if we're trying to sell them that, that's not what they're looking to buy. So there's a disconnect there and therefore built-in resistance. So as I pondered it last night and practiced it on one prospect, so it's not a great data set, I admit, I came up with what I call my IOU concept, the introduction of unicity. Now it's the same thing as introduce the business, but the mindset or the frame of mind it creates is I'm presenting or offering an holistic offering, not just a business. This business is based on transactions, any business is. But transactions in this industry, in this business, are based on relationships. Transactions flow from relationships. So what begins and relationships flow from conversations or communication. So what begins the conversation? Well, an introduction of unicity and all that we are and stand for. There's products there, and I lead with products because they do what we say they're going to do. They're unambiguous in that regard. There's the associations and the people. There's the economics, and there's the business model, and blah, blah, blah. The whole bunch of cool stuff that we have. Presenting who we are holistically, reflecting back to the individual what the communication's indicating to me they have interest in, is what works. Now, for me, drilling down, I lead with the products. My introduction of unicity, my IOUs, distributing of them, is product-led. I go to doxgetY/products. That's the link I send generally. If someone has a specific need, then it will be the matcha or the cleanse or the balance link. And I'll preface that, as I've covered in many other videos before, with, hey, Nate, I'm going to send you an email with a link with a product that I think may be of benefit to you, and insert the specifics as to why I think that, or maybe just more generally. I'm delivering value. I'm introduction of unicity with a product-led way. I'm demonstrating my genuineness and sustaining a relationship. Unsaid all the way through there is the fact there's a business here, and I found that those questions come naturally and rightfully, or it's obvious to me when to introduce that part of the equation. That's my approach. That's how I engage in the introduction of unicity, as opposed to how do you introduce the business. Subtle shift, big mental change in my approach and my mindset. Now, I can lecture you on that. I can tell you that's what you should do, and that's what I do, and leave it all theoretical. But let me give you some data. Recently, there was a promotion here in North America about if you sponsor so many people and they do so much volume over this period of time, you get free stuff at the next event we're going there. I'm just going about my world, doing my thing, doing what makes sense for me, and what do you know, without even focusing on it, I qualified for that free hotel stay at the upcoming event because I'd sponsored enough people. In fact, in North America, there were only a couple of dozen people that sponsored more than me doing that, and that's with me doing that as well as everything else I do. I do these videos, I lead a global organization that does millions of dollars of business a month. I have a lot of stuff on, but I still do what I'm encouraging you to do, what I suggest you focus on and make a priority, and I still do it the way I'm asking you to do that. Case in point, I average about one manager a month joining me. Now, I can say, well, that's not great. Well, look at the compound effect of that over a year. One manager a month is 12 over a year. That's all right. How many of you would have liked to have sponsored 12 managers in the last year? Now, that's just me and them. Now, I then help them do what I did with and for them. Let's assume half of them do something like that. Long story short, starting at just me at the beginning of a year, and it's not, but just you at the beginning of the year, you do that consistently. send the prefacing voicemail or phone call, send the email with the link from the Do X Get Y page, follow up, answer questions, lead them to the business at the right time based on how you're feeling or based on their questions, they join you. They use the products, they find out they work, they join you, etc., etc. Do that over a year, just signing up one manager a month. Some stay active, some don't, some do something, some don't. You're going to have over 30 people in your business. Now, that's just starting with you right now in Raw. I could take any number of the people that I started with, assuming I started at 0 back in January. That one person that joined me in January, averagely, is going to represent probably 30 people in my business by the end of the year. Now, I'm not great, I'm not special. I use the tools that are here at your disposal. I'm practiced at it because I've done it a bunch. I'm better at it, not than you, I'm better at it than I would be because I do the same thing over and over and over, and therefore my competency and my skill builds. I anticipate most objections I've heard before a million times and have, through bad experience, learned how to answer them better. But that's how I introduce Unicity. My introduction of Unicity is that voicemail or phone call, the email, and I follow up, and then I weave the business in at the right time and the right place. And it compounds over time. I play the long game. My data isn't spectacular, it's solid. I'm proud of it. My guess is most of you would like a similar sort of growth curve. You can have that. Just do the stuff that builds a business. Do the stuff that's proven to build the business. Do it over time consistently. 1, you'll get better at it. 2, it will compound in your favor. That's how I engage in IOUs, or the introduction of Unicity. Product-led, trying to introduce conceptually and directly the gestalt of who we are and what we're about. That creates an attraction, creates questions. I'm happy to answer them. Most times I use the tools to do so, and then away we go. Thanks and have a great day.